What's going on, everyone? It's Nova with another video tonight. I'm so excited to finally be back making YouTube videos. As you can see, the title should be something like accident or fractured jaw. Yeah, I think I'm gonna call it fractured jaw. So I guess I'll just start by filling you in with some of the background. Some of you might know I do crew with, like where you row boats and all. And crew is not usually thought to be a contact sport, and I don't even think of it to be a contact sport, but the past 2 weeks has certainly proved that theory wrong. And to fill you guys in, so Wednesday there was a nor'easter hit in Jersey, and we still had practice for some reason because there's a big race coming up this Sunday. And I don't really know why we were out there. I kept saying I don't want to be out here. Why are we out here? It's cold, it's raining, the water's all rough. Something bad's going to happen. And I kept saying that something bad is going to happen. And if sure enough it did later down the road. The practice, we were doing okay. Now, this is where the explaining is going to get a little confusing, but I'm going to try to keep it as simple as I can. So there's this thing called sculling and sweeping. And sculling is where you have 2 oars, and sweeping is where you have 1. And I was in a sculling boat with 4 other guys. And now, that's the JV quad. It's called a JV quad. 4 guys sculling. And then there's 2 JV 8s. And now, my boat was doing our own little workout, and our coach wasn't there. It was just us out in the water. And the JV 8s were doing their own little pieces together. And so, we're coming down. And this is where like the bay kind of gets in like I called it the bottleneck, because it gets really tight, and like if there's a lot of traffic, nothing good is going to happen. And so we pass one boat and everything's fine. And the next thing I know, I'm like just sitting there, my head down on my lap. I don't even really remember what happened. I just know I was in pain. I had my hand on the back of my head. So what happened was we crashed into another boat. Not us. The other boat crashed into us. Or, well, I don't even know. We didn't crash. They crashed into us, if that makes sense. But the thing is, an 8 has 4 oars on each side, where we have 4 on both sides. But our oars are tiny. Like, they wouldn't even hurt if I smacked you across the head with them. The oars the JV8s were using are big, heavy blades that are they wouldn't be good if you got hit with one. And I got hit across the head twice with one, and something hit me on the bottom of my chin. And now I think this was one of my oars, because I think the boat like rocked and the oar shot up and hit me underneath my chin, and that's how I fractured it, I guess, because there's a crack going straight across the jaw, right where the jaw has its little hingey area. Like, I don't know, you know how your jaw's a hinge? Yeah, well, there's a crack going straight across that hinge area right now on my left side. And now my head's okay. I don't have a concussion. Well, at least they don't think I have a concussion. But that's the thing. When you're rowing in a quad, in my boat, we don't have a coxswain. So that's the guy that like steers and does all this, keeps an eye out for you. We don't have that. So we have our backs towards where we're going. So if we're going forward, if the boat's going forward, our backs are towards that direction. So we're looking behind us. So we can't really see what's going on. So there's a guy, the bow, the first guy, he turns around and looks to see if nothing's going on. And what happened was, I guess the wind blew and the other boat drifted into us and just crashed in and knocked us all out. Well, 2 of us, the kid behind me. It's really hard to explain to people that don't understand it. So there's bow, 2, 3, and 4. And 4 is the guy that there's no one in front of him, if that makes any sense. Then there's a guy behind him, and a guy behind him, and a guy behind him. And we're all looking towards, I think I just messed this up. If I said bow, I'm sorry. I'm really out of it lately. Whatever. Completely forget about what I just said, because you won't understand it. We're just going to keep going on how my jaw is all messed up. I have a huge bump on the back of my head. And, yeah, but that's where, not even the fractured jaw part, like, I'm kind of scared about that. That's pretty scary. But what really shook me up the most was how your neck is a very, like, vital part of your body. If it's all your nervous system, your spinal cord, all that important stuff. And I have 2 bumps on my head. I have one right behind my ear where I got hit by an ore, and I've got one right on top of my head to the right side. And now the one on top isn't as bad. It was more of like just it's like brushed it, but it still hurt like hell, of course. And then there's the one behind my ear was actually bleeding a little bit. And now that's where it's scary, because where it's located, it's about 3 inches from the center of the back of my head and an inch down from being dead center in my neck. And now, could you imagine, let's say the 8 was going 20 miles an hour, and now let's say my quad was going like 15, whatever. Now, that would be 35 miles an hour getting hit with a heavy ore. I mean, they probably weigh like, I don't even know how much they weigh. They're heavy. But, like, if that hit me on my neck, and that really shook me up. I was really, like, I was just so thankful that I didn't get hit there, because if I did, it would be bad. It would be very bad. I could have been paralyzed. Just bad things could have happened. And I went home and I prayed at dinner. I prayed before I went to bed, just thanking God I didn't get hit there, because it could have devastated me. Like, it's really scary. But now back onto my jaw. I got the x-rays. They showed me the crack, and the guy was like, yeah, it's not that bad. It should heal up in 2 weeks, but I'm going to send it to another doctor just to look at it, and he'll call you later. And later tonight, or earlier tonight, we got a call saying that it's very bad. I'm not allowed to race this weekend. Don't do any physical activity. Eat nice, light foods or whatever. I don't know, liquidy foods. I don't know what the hell to call it. And I have to go get some like 3D x-ray of my jaw before they make the decision on what the hell to do, which is kind of scary, and I don't really know what to do. I have to go, so I'll see you guys later in this